short of government intervention. Akwa Ibom indigenes bill for training in Israel to depart EU Monday. Central Bank of Nigeria set to go after street hawkers of Naira. Details of these and more in a moment. Good morning and welcome to AKBC 45 News. I am Jeffrey Orok. The Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Inyoba has pledged the resolve of the state government to find a lasting solution to erosion menace confronting the people of Ikpa town in the Esireke local government area. Dr. Sen made the pledge during a visit to the community to ascertain the extent of damage caused by erosion. The Commissioner observed that the ecological problem of the area was a major one, saying that the government is sensitive to the plight of the people, which explains his visit to the village to ascertain the situation with a view to finding a lasting solution to the problem. He emphasized he sympathized with the villagers over the natural disaster, which is said to have claimed 5 lives, emphasizing that the state government will also seek the intervention of the federal government. He therefore appealed to the people to remain calm pending the intervention by the state government on the ecological problem.
But I want to assure you that the government, the governor in particular, is very sensitive to the yearnings of the people, and that's why he immediately asked the ministry to come in here, assess the problem, and give him a feedback with a view to giving permanent solution to the problem that you're having here. My appeal, first and foremost, is that whatever is being done, whatever remedial measures that are being taken here now, drain should not be diverted into the ravine. Otherwise, in the course of trying to give remedy, we may end up with more problems.
Earlier, the chairman of Ikpa Village Council, Elder Etim Eno, described the gully erosion in Ikpa town as a monster which has so far claimed 5 lives. According to Elder Etim, the gully erosion, which is about to wash away the Ikpa community, worsens every rainy season, an appeal for the intervention of the state government. Earlier, the contractor for the drainage project, who is also from the area, Prince Uche Asubo, said the previous administration of Chief Gospel Akpabio awarded the contract for the erosion control and road diversion, but that the project was stalled due to non-release of funds. Prince Asubo disclosed that his company had mobilized equipment to site to find remedial measures to tackle the problem, but that much could
have done this place by now, and then open this culvert that you have seen here. It will take away what will take over all the water that came from Idumba. Yeah, called Idumba.
In his reaction, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment and Mineral Resources, Mr. Ifeanyi Udoh, said Esireke is one of the erosion-affected areas in the state, adding that the situation is the same in the state capital and other part of the state, pleaded with the community.
And I want to appeal to the community right now. I want to appeal to the youth, to the village leaders to cooperate with the government. And I want to assure that government will actually intervene and raise remedial measures.
Youth in Ikorokap, Dia in Nsurubium local government area have been told to brace up to the challenges of nation building through selfless sacrifice and quality community development service. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Youth and Sport, Mr. Nseda, gave the charge when he received members of the Ikorokap Dia Matured Youth Organization who called on him in his office. The Permanent Secretary lauded the Udomi Manual administration for setting the pace for industrialization of the state, which he hoped will transform the lives of youth and translate into the socio-economic development of all. He challenged the youth of Ikoro Cap to reciprocate government's magnanimity by evolving community development programs such as monthly sanitation and other quality services. He said demonstrated his preparedness to champion the affairs of the Ikoro Cap where he hails from, through fencing and renovation of the Lutheran school, Obut Ndia, and enjoined the forum to work towards engendering mutual understanding, love and unity among themselves in order to accelerate the pace of development of the community. He expressed gratitude for the honor done him by the forum through the visit.
Cooperate with you. Cooperation will come in those things I know are very reasonable, in reasonable demand, and you people must be ready to follow me. I will show you the way you must be ready to follow me for us to have peace and development in that community.
Earlier in his address, the President, Ikoro Cap Mature Youth Organization, Mr. Samuel congratulated Mr. Nsedem on his elevation to the rank of Permanent Secretary, describing this as God's divine favor. Mr. Willie said the forum was a platform for rebranding the use of Ikoro Cap through awards of scholarships and enhanced welfare to enable them actualize their dreams and aspirations, but called on the Permanent Secretary to use his good offices to sponsor their annual football competition, which will help to discover talent for the state and national competitions.
Yes, there have not been any annual events which can help bring the youth together, such as annual football competition. We strongly know and believe that this can be possible with your effort. The fact that you were the #1 goalkeeper in the former 18 local government area, games captain when you were in community secondary school in Korea, and a sport loving, and surely this will spoil you up for sponsoring this competition.
Highlight of events was the presentation of award of excellence to the Permanent Secretary by the forum. Following the recent cancellation of appointment of head and deputy head teachers in public primary schools in the state, all head teachers in Yun, Saratai, Ibesiku, Atutan and Oruan local education authorities have been invited for screening at the State Universal Basic Education Board headquarters in Osinka Secretariat on Tuesday 11th August 2015 at 10 o'clock in the morning. A statement from the board requires affected persons to appear for the exercise with their record of service, including letters of appointment to the post of head teacher. According to the statement, the exercise is mandatory, as officers who fail to appear will be deemed to have retired from service. Transport operators in Uyo have been directed to make adequate use of designated motor park within the capital city rather than load along road signs. The Commissioner for Transport, Prince Godwin Tokode, gave the directive while inspecting the 5 model motor parks in Uyo. Prince Tokode said the directive became necessary in view of the negative attitude of some commercial drivers towards improved vehicular traffic within the capital city. Livingston Daniel reports.
The motor parks visited by the Commissioner and his team were Mbiabong, Nongoku, Ikorakpe, Itam Long Distance, and Itam Main Parks. At Mbiabong Itoi Motor Parks, the Commissioner on arrival was received by interim park management led by Mr. Mike Eyo. Prince Ntugude, who inspected the park facilities, said he was happy over what he saw on ground. Addressing the park managers and users, Prince Ntugude appealed to them to provide television and other facilities that will help the drivers and other park users feel convenient using the facilities. He cried a situation where drivers in the park only ply or run Okobo and Sedetai routes, and appealed for the restoration of Calabar, Port Harcourt, Warri, Bar and other major routes.
You have to work with the coordinating officer here. Let there be a restoration of Port Harcourt route, Calabar route, Owerri route, Warri route, and other places, Ikoregbene and all of that. Umoya route. Don't just come and dance and say, run, inside that.
The leader of interim management of the park, Mr. Michael Yo, said that observations made by the commissioner were well received and will be implemented. The youth leader of the area, Mr. Nefio Ime, appealed to the commissioner to include youths of the area in the running of the park. At the Nongoku Motor Park, the commissioner also inspected the toilet facilities and expressed satisfaction over the general cleanliness of the facility. Prince Itogude described the attitude of drivers who flout government directives and are now loading along roadside and warned against such unwholesome behavior. A driver in the park who commended appealed to the government to put in place a standard and effective task force team to monitor touting on the road, explaining that this will enable passengers to travel through the motor parks.
This thing, standard task force, state task force that will be monitoring this road. Otherwise, the aim of this park is being thank you.
The commissioner expressed dissatisfaction over the untidy condition of convenient facilities at the Korakwe Motor Park and directed the management to immediately see to its cleanliness. President Tugude was briefed by the oldest driver in the park, Itebong Moses, on the major problems confronting effective use of the motor park, saying that these have led to low patronage of the facility. He mentioned these to include lack of proper access road to the park.
It's here. You call it Kotia. You get stand up. As you, as a no Mutu Amasan we might sound Mutu Amatu a barridi or Picorabas. As I don't get Federal Secretary. As I don't me.
The commissioner in response said that he will present the matter to the Ministry of Works for consideration.
He is not coming to say, I'm a government. There's no more PDP, no more APC, no more anything. Now we have governance. Politics has passed. It is governance now. And so as I'm coming here, I'm not coming to say, where were you? And why were you not here? And why were you there? That's not the issue now. The gospel of Udo Emmanuel is that Akwa Ibom must be developed for all Akwa Ibomites. That's all.
The heavy downpour did not stop the commissioner and his team from visiting Itam long-distance motor park, where he told the facility operators to be of good conduct, describing them as one of the critical state ambassadors. He ordered the removal of all broken-down vehicles in the park in order not to serve as a hideout for criminals, and promised to fix the spoiled solar-powered lights. The team's last port of call was Itam main motor park, where the commissioner expressed happiness over the general conduct, orderliness, and volume of vehicles in the park. Livingston Daniel reporting.
The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Nyekanomana, has charged Christians to change their mindset and to think positively as well as live productive lives to facilitate the wealth creation agenda of the present administration of the state. The Commissioner gave the charge during the 3-day annual conference of the Corridor Superintendency of the Kwaibu Church of Nigeria held at the Samuel Bill Theological Center. Expatiating on the importance of positive thinking, Mr. Mana said people who are courageous in working for God in humility and diligence have the capacity to contribute to the growth of the society. Underscoring the importance of providing shelter for men of God, the Commissioner emphasized that God's servants are spiritual fathers and should be made comfortable in their places of abode. He said that Udo Emmanuel has concluded arrangement to rename Uranstreet Oluyu after the great theologian Samuel B.
Thinking of this. We can't just come down here and then we are retiring and going. So what is going to happen to the next generation? what will happen to our churches? What will happen to us? There are certain things that you must begin to work with positively. You cannot say the social media or social life is bad. You must tweak it positively, because that is the way the world has gone.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Economic Development and Planning, Elder Yarekupumana, in his keynote address on the theme, inconsistent Christian behavior, encouraged Christians to be consistent in their faith. Elder Umana kicked strongly against same-sex marriage, as God's plan for marriage was that of the union between a man and a woman, adding that such practice was against ethical
behavior
and
in marriage and family life. Inconsistent behavior in the marketplace. Inconsistent Christian behavior in politics and governance. Inconsistent Christian behavior in faith practice, evangelism and soul winning. Inconsistent Christian behavior in child upbringing.
Prayers for clergymen and those in positions of authority was led by the General Superintendent of the Kwaibe Church, Abak, the Reverend E.E.Osim. Others who spoke included the Director of Regional Plan, Elder Etukuku, who also was the Planning Committee Chairman. So the event was aimed at bringing Christians back to God. The conference featured congregational leaders. This is AKBC 405 News. More news after the break.
Akbarawa Monday.
It's so good to be back. Applicant who submitted data page of their international passport for training in Israel are expected at the office of the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Wellington Basiwe, to check their needs. A statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Government House, Pastor Umar Basi, has advised successful applicants that their trip to Israel is on Monday, 10th August 2015. They are expected to go along with small traveling kits and writing materials for the training, as their orientation will hold same day by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Backup of the trip by Governor David Madu, the statement noted, will also take place by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the same day, while departure time is fixed for 6 o'clock in the evening. The Mbonkwarawa IBBO has unveiled plans to celebrate its 28 years of existence. The international president of the organization, Mr. Monde Togokwan, was briefing newsmen on activities of the Mbo in the EU. Yano Paul completes the story.
Akbarawa Monday Togokwan said Mbonkwarawa IBBO was formed in August 1, 1987 as a forum to unite the peoples of the then mainland part of the Cross River State, which was dominated by the Ibibios. Akbarawa Togokwan said that 12 people, whom 11 are still alive, came together out of the show of love to form the organization that now live in the geographical enclave of the present Akwa Ibom State. Since formation, the president of Mbonkwarawa IBBO said that the organization has been waxing strong with 55 chapters across the globe, including the United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, while many others are awaiting inauguration. He mentioned those to be inaugurated to include the Cameroons, Italy, and South Africa. The 9th International President of Mbogo noted that the organization has recorded tremendous success politically, socially, and economically, which is evidenced in the establishment of Mbogo Unity Schools and the building of its international headquarters along Udaudama Avenue in Uyo.
Mbogo was able to survive these years because of discipline. And today we are celebrating our 28 years of existence, and after 28 years, we are here. To say to God, thank you. We are here. To our people, come, let us come together. Let us bury our hatchet and then move forward. And we are in the forefront of uniting the present Akwa Ibom states.
In their separate remarks, some of the founding members of the Mbogo, including Akparawa Emmanuel Umo, Akparawa Amati Ama, Akparawa Udosamo Motan, and Akparawa Ikbongesien Udom, described the socio-cultural organization as a child of circumstance, explaining that it was for the emancipation of the Ibibios from political marginalization. They said it was also a platform for economic prosperity and acknowledged the vision in the formation of the Ibibio Union, the Akwa Ibom Ibibio, which has achieved much in what was then known as the mainland part of the Cross River State.
We wanted to make sure that we protect the interests of the Ibibio. By 1987, we don't resolve it on that 12 of us met to give the lights to Ibibio today.
So we now decided that this organization must be formed so that we will be responding.
But however you want to look at it, we are fully adults. We are now prepared to show the nation that we are adults.
Answering questions from newsmen on the efforts in unifying other sociocultural groups in the state, the international president and the past president said,
Who was not bound in a day? You know, leadership is in style. I want to assure you, not everything that we are doing that we're going to open up to you because we are on the situation.
Very well. And I think on that note, if I can say that we achieved one of the aims and objectives of the
The call on the entire people of the state to live in unity creates a forum to train the younger generations to have the opportunity to achieve their desired goals. To celebrate its 28 years, the international president said that Mbogo Mkparawa Ibibio will go for a Thanksgiving service at the Apostolic Church Obimo and an anniversary lecture. Yagin Opo reporting.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Deposit Money Banks under the aegis of the Bankers Committee will soon commence the imposition of market sanctions on delinquent debtors of banks. The Acting Director of Banking Supervision of CBN, Mr. Kolawole Balogun, said this in Lagos at a news briefing shortly after the 323rd meeting of the Bankers Committee. He said it did not specify the nature of the market sanctions, but CBN has said that the delinquent debtors would be banned from participating in the foreign exchange market. Mr. Balogun, who expressed satisfaction over the publication of the debtors list, said banks will release a list of more delinquent debtors in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the Bankers Committee said the CBN and banks would go after street hawkers of the Naira with a view to bringing them to justice. As a result, the committee has enlisted the help of security operatives to arrest those caught buying or selling Naira on the street across the country. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Friday evening visited President Muhammadu Buhari inside the presidential villa, Abuja. The two leaders met for a few minutes behind closed door inside the official residence of the president. Obasanjo, decked in blue agbada and a cap to match, arrived at the premises after the day's walk when the president had returned from his office. The president's residence is not open to journalists except on special occasions. Obasanjo must have decided to act on his knowledge of the presidential villa to visit the president at that time, away from the curious eyes of journalists. That was the first time the former president would be visiting Buhari inside the presidential villa since his inauguration on May 29. The special advisor to the president of media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, confirmed Obasanjo's visit to newsmen. No fewer than 4 soldiers and 1 policeman have been murdered by unknown gunmen suspected to be sea pirates in Bayelsa State. Another policeman is, however, said to be missing after the attack. It was learned that the gunmen who came in the speedboat attacked the Joint Military Task Force JTF based at Nembe Waterfront in Nembe local government area of Bayelsa State. The incident occurred at about 11:30 p.m. on Friday. Police authorities in the state confirmed the incident and said that those who lost their lives were attached to the JTF. Mr. Sinim Bwaswat said the Daredevil Sea Pirate carted away 2 guns and other arms from the beach after the attack. The United Nations has adopted a resolution aimed at identifying those behind chemical weapon attacks in Syria. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon said, and the head of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW, will be asked to prepare a plan for an inquiry. The vote came after the US and Russia agreed on the final text of the resolution. The mission to eliminate Syria's chemical arsenal was set up after a deadly attack outside Damascus in August 2013. Late last year, the OPCW declared it had removed or destroyed 108 tons of declared toxic agents and prosecutional chemicals. After Friday's vote, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Samantha Power, said it was a clear message that the perpetrators would not go unpunished. She stated that the resolution had been adopted with the Council's unanimous support. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to AKBC Online or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45, on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now to the news, the main point again. The state government has pledged to intervene in erosion-affected communities in the selected local government area. The Commissioner for Environment gave the hint when he visited the area. Also, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it will soon resolve and descend on heavily on street walkers of the night. That's it on the news. Thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff.